Welcome to Latinos Unfiltered podcast, where we're going to kick back, drink some rum, drink some food, everything. Not drink some food. What am I saying? Drink some drinks, maybe eat some food. We ain't going to eat some food right now. We're going to dive into the heart of it all, just chill, have some fun. You feel me?
Hey, anywhere from the favorite Latino beats, we're gonna get to the bottom of it all. Real talk, what's going on in our community. We want to take and get to the heart of it. So, like we always say, we're gonna keep it sin filtro, mi gente. No holding back.
Facts. Whether you're chilling at home, stuck in traffic, going out somewhere, wherever it is you watching YouTube and you watching us, first of all, I want to say we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us, familia. And second of all, we want to make sure that you laugh, learn, and maybe even spill a little cheese along the way because, hey, who doesn't like a little gossip, a little talk? You feel me? So because life's too short not to have a good time.
So, my guys, grab the headphones, turn off the volume, and get ready because we're about to start. Let's get unfiltered. So, bienvenidos to this vibrant world of Latinos Unfiltered.
Okay, so one brand new day. I got some pretty funny things we're going to talk about that I feel like a lot of people don't really know. It's going to be, I got my little cell phone. So we're going to talk about a few things. It's going to be, I got a few funny and memorable topics about the 90s that kids nowadays may or may not know of.
That's when I was a little kid still.
Facts. So
the 90s.
We're going to start with this one because I think this is going to be pretty good. I think a lot of us, especially from the 80s and 90s, are going to have super memorable stuff with this, and it's going to be just something really fun. So do you remember...
Is it going to make us feel like old as hell?
Just a little bit.
Just enough.
just a tad bit. You feel me?
Man.
This one. Well, okay. So what I'm about to say now, there's only one left in the entire United States, and it's in Oregon. And you can. I think it's still open, but it's more of a nostalgia thing. I don't think you can actually rent stuff. I think you can buy stuff, but that's it. I know they converted it into an Airbnb at one time where they were letting people rent out the entire place, but also that you could sleep in it.
I'm curious.
Blockbuster what the video.
Hell? Blockbuster? What?
And the experience. And I want to know your experience renting VHS tapes and anything else that you got from there.
What? That is crazy. The last Blockbuster standing is in Oregon, on el Diablo de la Chacleta, como dicen en Panama.
Bella. Bro, I found it, yeah.
Crazy.
Last Blockbuster is in Oregon, I believe.
Bro, not even like a central city or nothing, bro. It's just in Oregon, like all the way in the booties.
The last Blockbuster store is in Bend, Oregon. Bend, Oregon is actually a very like ritzy town. It's known as the last Blockbuster, and it's located in a plaza in Bend, about 160 miles north of Portland. Yeah,
160 miles. That's like what, 4-hour drive maybe from the heart of the city, to Portland.
Yeah. Let me see here. So, what was your experience with Blockbuster and how it is right now? They do sell. They this one, by the way, the one in Oregon. They, according to online, the last Blockbuster in the world is in Bend, Oregon. They do sell merchandise. The store has a museum-like feel with movie memorabilia, candy, and souvenirs for sale.
That's crazy.
And they also sell VHS movies for $2 and DVDs. And you can set up a free Blockbuster account to receive cards made by Blockbuster staff as a souvenir.
That is wild. That is extremely crazy. Bro, Blockbuster, bro. Talk about taking you back in time. I remember going over there, and then like you had a membership, and then the membership you pick, like you could take like 2 movies or 3 movies or 4 movies or something like that. And then you pick your movies and you just browse all over. You had your comedies, you had your adventure, you had your action, you had like, so whatever the heck people was like in the mood. Usually we used to get like the 4 movies. That way we have enough, like if we wanted to watch like little cartoons like Frank Gully. That. And then you have like the adults movie, the action pack, whatever. And then you have your mom movie, whatever, like with like the rom-com type of thing, like the girly stuff. and then you have the one that everybody would sit down and watch, which is like the family-based movie kind of thing, like that had the mix of comedy or whatever. Now you know the whole shebang, and then we had the top of it all, like the cherry on top, the creme de la creme, where you used to go to the thing to get the movies out, and they had all the candies like it was a movie theater. You
Yes,
had
the bin
your
of candies.
M&M boxes, yeah, like you have it in the boxes, not just the little packs. It was in the boxes.
The big
And you
one,
have
yeah.
M&Ms, and you have all the toast bro. Oh, bro.
I used to love it. I used to always like, Mom, can we get? We used to get the bag, the little bag of popcorn inside the foil thing that sell individuals.
Yeah.
Buy some candy, the drinks, and then my family, I think most families, I think, would order pizza. Like there was always like a movie night or Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those for those who don't, Domino's, Pizza Hut, whatever, bro. That was a pizza day, right? That was a pizza
You end up
day.
getting a movie from Blockbuster or VHS tape, and then you're ready to watch the movie just to find out that the person who last owned it didn't rewind it.
Yo, you know something? We actually at one point in time we actually like didn't like it so much that we actually bought the machine that was only for rewinding the movie theater, the cassettes, and we used to put them in there, just boom, rewind that thing real fast, done. Let's go watch the movie, because that literally, if you try to put it in the VHS, and for those who don't know, VHS, that's where movie tapes used to be.
Yeah,
You still probably don't know what movie tapes is, so probably a lost cause. Go ahead and Google
it. It was like a box that was like this big, and it was like this thick. So it was like, imagine this, like it was like this big, that thick, it was square, and it was just.
And you know what was the best part about when it came down to some movies, they came color coded. Like some of them were orange, some of them were blue. Especially with the cartoon, they had like colors, so you would know what movie is what. It was just crazy. It was like, I don't know, like the imagination back then, it was so crazy.
It was,
and it was so like fun and festive. Now everything is just like dull, just black and white.
It was honestly, Blockbuster was an experience. I think I feel bad for kids now because like you want to watch a movie, you're just going on Netflix. You know, you can look at comedy, this, that, and look at it. There was the same thing, y'all. When you went into the store, first of all, you see the iconic Blockbuster sign, all lit up, blue in the background, yellow with the letter, and then the light would be shiny as can be. You see tons of people in there. You walk in, and it was kind of like it was a homey feeling because you'd walk in and you see, you know, one part that would say comedy on it, another one action. So you'd go to those little sections and you see the
and then they have the cutouts. Remember the cutouts for the cutouts for the action movies, and they had
for the action movies. God. And then you see like the ones that said new movies. So you'd be waiting for the new movies. You have to get there early enough. You had a membership, that you rent the movies. And the one that I used to hate was like,
look, it's crazy because I think I still have that little. I think I have it somewhere in a box. The little plastic card with the membership thing. You know, they used to like hot plastic, whatever. And then you cut it out, whatever. Yeah.
It was a laminated card that said Blockbuster and your name and stuff on the front with the little barcode.
Yeah.
And
bro, you remember, know what was the worst part of it about? When you used to go to the Blockbuster and they tell you that there was no movie available.
Yeah.
They hadn't returned the movies, bro. They hadn't returned the movies. You used to get so mad.
You had this movie. Let me see. The movie's not available. You have it in the bin. So whenever you return the movie, you dropped it in this little bin, and they would get it there, and then they would know you dropped it on time. But then if someone just like, oh, we don't have it, can you check the bin and see if anybody returned it? Usually, you would hope it was. You'd have to go, and there's sometimes, somebody just returned it. We can go ahead and check it if they were nice enough. But there's also those times where
most of the time they were nice, bro. They were nice. I don't remember a time that the movie was in the bin that they really didn't go through it, because I mean it was really easy to identify anyway.
Yeah, and then like it didn't happen often because I mean they would get charged if they did, but every now and then, not often. It was very rare, but sometimes you have people who would mistakenly, because you could do this on a VHS recorder, y'all. You could record something over it. It would suck to see someone taped over their shit over it, and then they had to go back and look, and that person would be charged. But
I heard the stories about that. I personally and my family personally didn't ever experience that. Thank God. But I heard the stories about that kind of stuff happening.
Yeah,
that was wild.
You know when Redbox came out, that Blockbuster was trying to stay open and relevant. So Blockbuster, a lot of people don't know this. I found this out when I used to live in Maryland. Blockbuster actually created a red box, and they called it Blue Box, and it was strictly Blockbuster movies you can rent, like DVDs and stuff.
I never knew that. I never knew
Yeah,
that.
they did.
I never knew
Yeah,
that.
yeah, they did that. But yeah, Blockbuster was a fun experience. And the funny thing is, people, is that what y'all don't realize for you younger ones who didn't experience Blockbuster is it was literally like a family outing. Like, what are we doing
It
on
was.
Everybody Fridays? You going?
It
What are we doing?
was.
It's time to Mom. Can we go to Blockbuster and get a movie? Yeah, okay, we're going to Blockbuster. Yay! You go to Blockbuster and it was packed. It was just like a fun, frenzy family. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. Now, and this is where it takes all the fun of it because now you have Netflix, you have Paramount, you have all these other like streaming apps and whatever now, and it's not the same because now you like let's say you get like 4 TVs on your account, and then you have the kids sitting in their room, you have the wife sitting in her room, you got the husband in the living room, and so far and so on, and then everybody's watching their own little thing because now
Yeah.
nobody want to sit down and watch the same movie. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants to, so because now everybody has the flexibility of watching whatever they want. So they're like, I don't want to watch that. Before it was like, okay, we got all 4 movies, and let's say like Tuesday or Taco Tuesday, we'll sit down and watch one. Or first, we're gonna watch 2 on the weekend. So you have Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah.
You sit down, you watch your movies on Saturday and Sunday, and then you have like your special whatever meals, like Taco Tuesday, and then whatever pasta Thursday or something like that or whatever. Or maybe that following Friday, right before you have to turn in all the movies, you sit down on Friday night and you will sit down and watch, the last movie.
Like
together.
you said, y'all, you had 1 week to turn that shit in.
Mm-hmm.
You had to watch it within that week, and if you didn't do it on time, you got charged a fee.
Yeah.
And every time you got it late, you got
we sit
charged a
down,
fee.
yeah, and that's the funny part about it because we all sit down and watch the movie regardless. Didn't have the flexibility like, oh, I want to watch this and I want to watch that and I want to watch the other one. We growing up, we have a little bit more freedom when it came to that because we would watch the same cartoon on the VHS all week long.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like we would watch the movie all week long, and then we never really got bored of it because to us we was like, yo, nowadays tell somebody to sit down and watch the same episode of the same movie like 4 days in a row. They were like, I don't want to watch this after the first day.
Yeah. Yeah, those were some fun times. It was just a fun experience, and even when you had to like rewind, I still miss like even if you had to rewind it yourself, it was still fun. Like the sitting there and just waiting for it to rewind while you're getting ready. You get your pizza, your tacos, whatever it was, and you just sit down. The whole family would sit down together, watch a movie. You'd be done, and then go do your own thing after that.
Did your Blockbuster had a Baskin Robbins next to it?
Normally, yeah. Most of them had
that was the thing. Like when you was getting ready for it, everybody would go get an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
That was a whole outing, bro. It was a whole outing. Like
hell yeah, it was for a lot of families. It was an outing. It was a very like hey,
if I sit back, bro, and I think about it, bro, like that's one of the few nostalgic moments that I will miss because you don't see that no more. Like you honestly, like families now are so like segregated and isolated within their own house because everybody's stuck on their phones or you're just watching this or playing video games or whatever whatever the case may be. When back then it was like we all as a family would sit down and watch a movie or go to the movie theater or something like that. And now movie theaters are expensive as hell. You can barely buy a popcorn. You just try to buy popcorn and soda, you spend already like $130 and it's only a family of 4 and that's not included the tickets.
Oh yeah, that was fun, and this is gonna tie in. This next thing is gonna kind of tie in with that. Was the because it's VHS. If you didn't have a way, you could rewind it with it, but this has kind of to do with it. The how annoying it was to kind of like rewind a cassette tape with a pencil. Y'all, a cassette tape was like this big.
I knocked my thing down, guys. Damn.
It was like this big, and it had 2 little holes inside, and on the bottom part, it had like the film. It looks like camera film. It was really thin, like that thin, and it went around the entire thing. Now, when you listen to a song, once you finish listening to one side, if you want to listen to, like, let's say Usher came out with a bunch of songs, right, on cassette tape. if you had 20 songs, there's 10 songs on one side, 10 songs on the other. If you want to listen to the other 10 songs, you had to take it out, flip it around, put
Flip
it
it
back
and
in,
put it down. Yeah,
press
yeah.
play. And then
Yo, I
after you're
had.
done with all of them, this is the worst part. Once you did with all of them, you had to press rewind and wait for it to go. And then once you rewind, it was My Way with Usher. Press play, listen. No, that's not the song. Rewind, press play. Wait, no, that's the song. And if you got that's the song, but it's not the beginning. Rewind, wait till you got to the end, and then wait for it to go through. So you couldn't just play the song and then listen from the beginning. You had to rewind, stop, rewind, stop, rewind, stop. Okay. Nope. Went too far. Fast forward. Stop. Oh my god.
Yeah,
And if you
yeah.
did it too
Yo,
much,
but you know
you had
something?
to go like this. If the film came
Yeah.
out, you had to take a pencil, go like this, and put it back. Oh my
Gotta
god.
make sure you gotta make sure that you untwist the film too, because if you
Yep.
didn't, you're gonna
They
have
got
that
stuck
thing.
inside, and then
Yeah,
you break.
and then you have break. Oh no, that's crazy. But you know, I had a technique when I had the pencil. I used to put the pencil in, and I just spin it like this. You just go like this.
Yeah, it's easier. He's there like a little fidget spinner. It's just like
Yeah, that was an old school
just
fidget
waiting for
spinner.
That was oh my god, it was a pain in the ass. That was super fun though.
I mean, I was happy
But
when they switched cassettes into CD players because it was a lot easier to identify because you have your tracks and you could I like already they had the technology where you can skip it to the next song or whatever, so you already
yeah,
knew where to put the stuff. So it was good.
but speaking of like Blockbuster and doing that, you got to remember for y'all wondering like how'd you play video games? Well, the other thrill of Blockbuster was the fact of it wasn't just movies you were watching. You can rent
Yeah.
video games from Blockbuster for the weekend.
Oh.
For the weekend.
Well, you have to
It was
pay a
a
little
weekend
extra.
thing.
You have to pay. You have to pay a little extra. You want it for the whole week.
Yep, you had to pay extras. Can you all imagine that? Think about this. Let's say you want to play the new Call of Duty or Skull and Bones that came out, or Fortnite, for example, right? Let's say they had that back then. You could only have it for the weekend. If you wanted it for the entire week, you had to pay more money to play it.
Mind you, it was not even a lot of money though, but it still was extra. Yeah.
But back in the day,
it was like $2-3 extra for the whole week. You know,
yeah.
But you know,
But
nowadays
your parents didn't want to pay that.
Yeah, nowadays it would have been the equivalent of like $50 for the whole week type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like $50.
And but it was so nice. Like I used to remember renting games all the time. I'm like, oh, I want to get this game.
Yeah.
Or when a new game came out and you went to the new game part, you're like, oh, the new game, you'd want to be the first one because you didn't want to go back to school. Like, did you play the new, Mario? No, I didn't play it. I can't afford to.
But there was the times that you could also purchase the games from Blockbuster. Like if you actually wanted, you could buy the game, or you could buy the movie.
You could purchase it. Yeah, that was. I don't think we ever purchased the game from Blockbuster. I think it was just rent, and it wasn't often. It was not often because it was expensive.
Yeah.
For back in the day, that was expensive.
But yeah, back in the day, $20 was mad money.
Facts. Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh, this is a '90s episode. That's crazy. Do you remember if you had a certain song, like when songs came out, y'all, if you wanted to listen to a song and it was only coming out on the radio, and you're like, oh man, I want to listen to this song because you could record stuff once again with the cassette tape. So DJ would say, I don't know, let's say Eminem's Godzilla, right? Eminem's Godzilla coming out today on, whatever channel it is, blah, 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 coming out at 6:00. They'd announce when they were going to play the song. So you sat by the radio waiting. You had your tape in ready because you could buy blank tapes, y'all, to record songs. That's how ghetto this was. And to record songs. Or if you wanted to ruin your parents' cassette tapes, which God forbid you do that, you can record over it. But I remember you had to sit down waiting for the song to come on so you could record it. So the minute they're okay, get ready, guys. Here is, Eminem's Godzilla. You press play and get ready and just wait. And then they start playing it. And then, as long as you have plenty of memory on there, or not memory, the tape, the memory.
Plenty of tape, sir. Plenty of
tape. Yeah, plenty of tape. Then you can record that song. And that's how you would record songs, y'all. How many times I recorded stuff?
My experience with that, it was a little different because growing up, is especially in Panama, the DJs in Panama was not like the ones here in the United States. They used to talk and put noise in their in the song, and like for the longest. They'll be like, okay, here we're gonna play so and so, and then we're like, beep, 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 beep. And then while you are listening to the music, they put like the little like catchy hookers or like hooks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, welcome, welcome. And like, yo, the song is playing. I want to hear the song, not all this extra like whatever. And I'm like, bro, it was so hard. So
Yep.
most of the times, it was like we went to the I would say to the like music store and actually buy the CDs or the cassettes and then play them, and then have the second one. Remember that you had the double one, and then you have one
Yeah.
to play
The
one,
double
and the
sided.
other one to record it. So then you record your stuff, and then you return your cassette. So you basically just copy the whole damn thing on your and return that stuff over there, and then you have it, and then you'll put it with your phone, and then you record your voice on the
Oh my
phone like,
God.
yo, this is Mr. M2J. You reach me right now. So yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to put a
Recording your
whole
voice.
vibe in it. Yeah.
But did you ever make a mixtape for a crush?
Oh yeah, plenty times. Plenty times.
Y'all want to give songs to people like, oh, like you like the girl in school, whatever. You grab a cassette tape, you make a whole tape of all the different songs you want, love songs or rap, whatever the hell you wanted, and you record the entire thing on both sides and then give it to her like, this is for you,
Yeah.
baby.
You
Like,
know something?
you got some easy ass songs.
When it got more personalized, it was when it came out
Facts,
with
bro.
LimeWire. Remember
Mm-hmm.
LimeWire? Sit down in our computer, and then you download specific songs and then burn them into a CD.
Right into a
Oh
CD.
my god!
That embellisher. Oh my god. But the viruses you would get on a computer if you didn't do it right,
Who
bro.
was in this computer?
Bro. Woo. But when it first came out, that was so popular. A lot of military men. I'm not saying my family. I'm not saying my family.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, would record thousands and thousands of songs, like just to make sure you could have that, and especially like CDs. When you could burn CDs, man.
Oh yeah,
that was crazy. Like, oh my god.
that was crazy. Yeah, that was the era when cyber piracy had been born.
Yeah, and that was crazy about, like he said, that's actually one of the topics there, is the stress of trying to record songs off the radio without the DJ taking over it, putting the sounds and all that stuff.
Exactly. That
Oh
was
my god.
crazy stupid. Because I used to get so tired of hearing that stuff all the damn time. Like DJ this, DJ that, and then they put the little commercial. Like, come to the, I'm like, bro. Like, I want to listen to the song.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would just go and watch it from like MTV or something like that. Like because
Yeah.
they had like, the 24-hour kind of like music, whatever. And it was just like listening to music over and over and over and over. It's just, it was a lot better.
You remember trying to what do you call it, of trying to fit all your music on a single CD for like a road trip, and then if you did do that, you don't understand how easy it is now.
If I go right now in my closet, I might be able to find the binder that I have full of my old school CDs. Full of it.
Y'all don't understand. Right now, you have a computer. Yeah, you have a computer. You have your phone. You can connect it to your car, and then you go to whatever your app is, Amazon, Apple Store, whatever. Put your music on. There you go. You're done. You just press the song that you want to play or your playlist. You're good. Back in the day, if we wanted a certain, even if we only wanted one song from a certain artist, let's say from like Romeo Santos, right?
Yeah.
Or from Aventura, we put the CD. We had a binder, y'all, that was meant for CDs. CDs, for y'all who don't know, are discs that are round with a hole in it. And that
I mean, they should know, man. They should know that we still got disc.
We do, but it's not a common thing, though. It's not very common.
You call them Blu-rays now and all this extra stuff.
That's what a CD is. But you put all your songs on there.
Yeah, like more like gamers. For you gamers, you know what a CD is, man. We still put this inside our PlayStations.
Yeah, your Xbox and PlayStation. Yeah. So you would either have one, but like let's say you you love like Aventura or whoever it is that you love. You can
You had
either
like 6 CDs.
yeah, you can either A, put all the songs on one CD of that group you loved, and then you listen to it, and then of course you had to still rewind, go to the song, or you would put multiple artists on there and make like a mixed playlist. But let's say we liked, for example, let's say Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, right? If you had all Dr. Dre on one and then Snoop Dogg on another one, you're like, oh, I want to listen, I want to go to the next one. I want to, now I can listen to, Dr. Dre, and then I can go ahead and put in a, Eminem if I want to put the next one of, I don't know, Beyonce.
Yeah, I mean, you could create your custom playlist on the apps.
Yeah,
now,
you can put whatever. But back in the day, if you wanted to listen to two different artists and they weren't on the same CD, you had to stop it, take the CD, wait for the CD to come out the car, put it back in your little in your binder, where it properly goes, and then because normally we had the binders and then the little. What y'all don't know is CDs used to have, when you bought a CD, it opened up. It'd have the playlist of the songs on a paper written down, what the song is, who the producers are, and all that. Then you take the CD out, put it in. So you would take that paper and put it inside the backing of it, and then put your CD there so you knew which one it was. And like the front cover and all that would show that. But then if you wanted to listen to a different artist, you had to wait, take it out, put it back in the binder, look through the binder for the artist that you were looking for, that you have it on there, take it out, put it in, play the song. Every time you want to switch, you had to keep doing that.
I think I was a little bit more savvy when it came down to like doing that stuff, especially in the computer, because after you had the ability to like download the songs or whatever, now I would download the song and then create a playlist on the LimeWire. Had that where you can download all the songs that you wanted from all these different artists. You had it on a playlist, and then you burn them into a CD, so that you have like. I will have something like Tropical Mix #1, and I'll put X amount of like artists there, like whatever it could fit on the CD, and then burn that, and then I have like Tropical Mix #2, and then I have a bunch of other artists over there singing their songs or whatever. I mean, it was fun though. It was fun because it
made you work.
Yeah, it made you work.
You worked for your music. You worked for your entertainment.
Yeah, like nobody messed with what I'm playing because I put blood, sweat, and tears downloading this stuff over here to play music in the car, or not even in the car, bro. Like when you had a party, you just put that stuff over there, and then if you had a dope mix, oh my god, the party would be lit.
Before CDs, or was it after? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was before CDs. The other way, y'all, to listen to music. There's kind of a ghetto way. If you didn't have a CD player in your car, you bought a cassette tape that had a string outside that would come outside of the tape player. You connect it to your CD or your other tape player, and then it would play through that cord, and then you could play the songs you wanted. That was when it was like that was
the auxiliary cord. Auxiliary cord.
That was the original. Yeah, that one. Like, oh my god. And then of course that sometimes you had to take the pencil, fix it. Or if it would go and it breaks, sometimes I had it happen in one car where we couldn't get it out of the car. So that means you have to take out the entire radio thing, take it apart, unscrew it, get the tape out of there, get it out, try to rewind it. If not, you lost it. If you did, go back and buy another one.
Man, back then we were mechanics. We were freaking. we have to be jack of all trades, bro. Like you have to learn how to do everything.
You were forced to learn how to use the car if you wanted to do that, bro. Yo, oh my god, that's hilarious.
All the stuff that we had to do just to get like one little thing happening, bro. It was just so crazy. Nowadays, my app is not working. Restart the app.
Yeah, that's all, bro. Oh my god. I mean, it's easy now, but it was fun. It was fun.
The worst was getting a scratch on your CD and have that thing just.
Y'all don't understand. If you got a scratch on your CD, you would either A, skip, B, not work, or C, it would work for a little bit and then it would like do a fast forward, which means like go quickly song. Like it's like I love to eat tacos. It'd be like, oh, tacos, and they will continue with the song, and it's like, oh.
What was your favorite remedy to fix those?
I was just gonna say that. I tell you, we're on point. One of the most famous ones I know a lot of people did. The most popular one was you take regular Colgate white toothpaste, you put it on the scratch, take it gently with a little like panuelo with like a little like rag, and you go around the CD like this, but either around, but the proper way there is a proper way. Okay, you take the toothpaste, you put on the CD, and you wipe up because that's where the scratches normally were. Left to right. Normally they were up, so you go that. But if it was left to right, then you would go like this, but you would have to go around carefully, and then that I don't know if this was a legit thing. I don't know the science on it, but I felt like the toothpaste just filled in a gap and somehow worked. But it worked. It worked.
I know. It was
I don't know
just so
how
crazy.
that's a thing.
It was either that, put some alcohol on it, or put them in the freezer for a little bit, or whatever that. So the icicles,
Toothpaste,
whatever.
I don't know, is a conductor for music. You put it on and it fixes the thing. I don't
everything.
know.
It's just like when you used to blow back on the cartridges for the video games back then. You have to sit down there and blow on that thing hard as hell.
Bro, that's so funny.
And make sure to pray to whatever deity that you wanted to pray for. Make sure that it works.
Oh my lord, bro! I used to love doing that. Oh my god. Now, what was the when you had to blow? Explain the blowing of the cartridges.
Just to do it. I don't know what explanation was. We just thought that that was gonna make it happen, and I mean, like 70% of the time, it actually did work. I'm not gonna say 100% of the time, but 70% of the time, it worked.
Yeah. So, like, especially for like Nintendo, y'all, it was these square cartridges, and they said you're not supposed to because it could damage it, but you would take them out, and then once you did that, you put it back in,
and you have to slam it.
Yeah, you have to blow in it first. To blow in the cartridges. Then that's how it sounded like, and then you blow in the little thing, and then once you did that, slam that bit, you put it in, and then it would work.
Don't judge me. Yeah. That was our magic.
And then the game would miraculously work again, and until you needed to blow on it again, and then
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 90s, and that's just a few things that are crazy of the 90s, which is pretty good. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That is so funny. So let's see what we got here. So I like this question. Here's a question we're gonna ask here. What a quality you admire in others and strive to cultivate in yourself?
Back then or now?
In general.
I gotta say, back then, I think people was a lot more hardworking.
Yeah.
Nowadays, and it's not every single one, but I think nowadays, people is more entitled to, like, I want this, I want that, and that's why we have so much of a culture war going on, because everybody, feels like, oh, I'm saying, like, I deserve. But growing up is like we have to fight to get what we wanted.
Yeah. Like I was saying before, my bad, y'all. Little technical difficulties here, but what's it? Yeah, like I was saying before, because I don't think you answered it, and I didn't either. What's a quality you admire in others and strive to cultivate in yourself? And that's just in general talks and questions in general.
Yeah. Like I was telling you, right? Back then, people was a lot more driven, and they fought a lot harder to get more like on the personal level. I know there's a lot of cultural warriors now that they try to get like a lot of stuff, like, we shouldn't work as far so hard for a job. I mean, I understand some of the stuff there. It's kind of like the same drive, and now they have it more like on a global scale, if anything. That's why they have it like, something. I'm not going to sit down here and work for a company that really don't care about me or whatever. Now, back then, it was kind of like the opposite. It was like, yo, it's something you got to dedicate yourself to working for this company because they want to take you far. But I think that the whole thing kind of like flip on, because companies nowadays, they really don't care about their employees. Back then they had a lot more benefits for their employees and stuff like that. Now it's just like, make me the money, I make you work harder, and I require more from you, and I'm gonna pay you pennies on the dollar.
Yeah. More companies are more about the money versus caring about people. Like when you go to a job, back in the day, like you said, they had, like, if you retired, you had a benefit package when you left the company. you were there for like 20 years, they gave you maybe like a gold watch, or there's more incentives and more things that were done that they made you feel like you were wanted. Versus now, it's just like you're here for a job, we can replace you any minute.
Yeah,
So if
like
you don't
not so
like
much
it,
wanted. It was more like a family. You know, so you was like a family to the company. And
yep,
now is more like, you know, you're replaceable. Before you was indispensable. Now you are like, I can get rid of you whenever I want to. But um, at the same time, it's like I'm not gonna sit here and do all this stuff and have all these skills and give you all my skills and all my time, because nowadays I seen it, people sit down and call you from work on your day off so you can work, and then they don't want to pay you overtime because they say, oh, we
yeah,
company cannot pay overtime, then why you calling me?
yep. Don't call me. Do not, bro. I've had
So
a job say, "How come you're not here? What do you mean? Well, we're short. We need you here." Like I had a company do that. Like, oh, like, I forgot which one it was I worked for, but they're like, "Oh, we need you in right now." Somebody did this and this. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, well, if you don't show up, it's gonna be a write up because you're supposed to be available whenever. I'm like, no, I don't. By law, I do not have to. If you did not put me on the schedule, well, we put you on last night. You didn't give me notice. You didn't call me and give me notice. You didn't tell me nothing. I don't have to.
you're
And
gonna put
this
me
is
in a
my day off,
schedule when
and I
I'm
had stuff
sleeping?
planned.
You're crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you're not
you're not gonna
bothering
add
me.
me to your schedule like at
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning and expect me to show up
Mhm.
there at 7, 8 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. You
And
crazy
and
as hell.
then they would be like, oh well, we did send you a message or a text, and so you should be responsible enough to check your phone. It's like, no, I don't. No, no, not at all. My job, if I do not answer in any way, if I didn't see it and call you and say, okay, I'm coming in, you have no right to say anything. And even then, I'm being gracious, allowing you to say, hey, can you come in? And me say, you know what? Fine, I'll take my day off and go
Fine.
in. And I've always been like that. So it's funny that like kids and people nowadays are like saying, hey, you know what? They're taking more of a stance on it now, especially
Mm-hmm.
with TikTok coming out. But I've always been that. My mom always hated it. She's like, you got to make sure you put a 2 week notice, blah, blah, blah. I don't think a 2 week notice is necessary. Now,
Oh
if you
no.
like the job, and it's a job you generally like, that's
I used to
different.
believe that. I used to believe that. Now, not anymore. If I'm gonna
Hell
leave,
yeah.
I'm gonna leave. If I gotta give you a 2 week notice, but when you're gonna fire me, do you give me a 2 week notice so I can get everything and find me a job in the
Yep.
meantime? No, you're not gonna do that. So why in the hell I'm gonna want to give you the benefits so you can fill out the gap that is gonna create by me leaving? No, I'm not. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
My bad, y'all. My hair was looking a little busted and weird. But yeah.
it.
No, I agree. I think I've never agreed with that. My mom never liked that I did that. I'm like, if it's a job that like genuinely treated me well and I had a good job, then fine, I'll give a 2 week notice. But a 2 week notice is exactly that. Either way, it's a 2 week notice. Doesn't mean I
Exactly.
have to work for the 2 weeks. Now, can I choose to? Yes. But I don't have to. And even then, it's like people don't realize
I give you my
most
two
states,
week notice
all
and I take
states,
my 2 week vacation.
yeah, like most people don't realize like that's a time where like, oh, you gotta give me 2 week notice. It's like, no, like you said, if you're gonna fire me at any time or just say, you know what, we don't need you anymore, blah blah blah, you're not gonna give me the give me
The
the same
opportunity, yeah.
gratitude, the same opportunity, be like, okay, you know what, hey, just so you know, we're gonna have to let you go because we have overstaffed or blah blah, whatever the reason is. If you're not gonna give me that notice, why should I do it to you? Companies can literally, you can work for a company and then you could be the best employee there is, and they could just be, you know what, we want to, let's say you get paid $20 an hour, and I've seen this before, where you get paid $20 an hour, and then they know they can hire someone to do your job who's willing to take $15 an hour. They'll let you go just because of that, and they can
Yeah,
literally do it. You can't say shit. So it's like, why should I give you a 2 week notice when you could fire me at any moment that you feel like it? You feel me?
exactly.
Like it ain't gonna happen. Like no. So I don't believe in that. And then I'm a big advocate on like knowing your workplace rights because companies will take care of you. And I hate people who we were talking about it last night on Xbox. One of the dudes was talking about how like um, jobs will be like, they'll expect you to do certain things. Oh, well, you need to work harder and do this. I could be a top earner or a top person at the job, and they're like, well, we can't pay you to do this right now. We want you to do this job, but we can't pay you for it. It's like you're not gonna pay me to do more work and not have a bump in pay and then expect me to do something. And it's like, and then there's those people who take the job too seriously, who
Hmm.
are like, oh, well, you got to, oh, this is our job. You know, you need to make sure you do this, this, and this. Even if you're doing everything correctly, they want you to do it another way. And it's like, well, as long as I'm doing the job and I'm doing it good and it's not affecting anyone, I should be able to do however I need to. And it's like, bro,
Exactly.
they could fire your ass too, and you're acting hella bad, like, oh, this is the best company ever. It's like, bro, they're the best company until they fire you. Then you're gonna talk crap. So for now, instead of being like, oh, this is the greatest, blah blah blah, I'm loyal to them. Be real. Be real about it. It's about money. You're not there because you love the
Yeah,
job. You're there because you need the money.
exactly. You just
Facts.
became the lapdog, the brown noser type of thing. Like you want to be up on our booty cheeks.
Facts.
You just smelling that brown crack kind of thing. Um, and they're like, you just a regular employee, just like me and any other employee at the company. They will let you go if you underperform even a little bit. It's just beyond crazy. It's like you want me to do X amount of work. So let's put it this way. So if I finish on my scheduled work for the day before the 8 hours, can I go and you'll pay me the same time? No, they won't do that. So you being smart, you work your 8 hours and you make sure that you spread your job to do your 8 hours. That's it. I'm not gonna sit
Yep.
down there and outperform myself to do a job that is not really gonna be rewarded the way I'm thinking of it, because something, I gotta feed my family, I gotta pay my bills, I gotta take care of myself. So if I outperform and your reward is I'm gonna do a cookout for the job for the employees and feed me hot dogs, pizza, or pasta, I don't want that. I can make my own food at home, and I brought lunch. So what's the problem? I need money.
Mm-hmm.
So that $200 or $300 or whatever the heck the company spent into build having all this food so you can have a tax write off, because then for the company it's a tax write off, and to give us that, what, an hour lunch, and then we gotta go back to work, and then you think that we're supposed to feel extra grateful and appreciative the fact that
Yep.
you fed us? No, just because you fed us, that don't mean anything. I can feed myself. I'm grown enough.
Exactly.
I can feed myself. Give me
Yep.
a bump on my pay.
Facts. Facts. So, what is for everybody, but for you, and what's a goal? What's like a goal or personal? What's a goal you have for personal like growth and development? And within this coming year.
Uh, I want to become more fluid when it comes. I mean, I'm pretty decent when it comes down to talking to people or whatever, but I want to kind of like develop more of my social skills, and I'm talking about real social skills, like talking to people, being, because I'm a person that is more. I'm more of a secluded personality, if anything.
Yeah.
Uh, Doing this podcast is a big challenge. I mean, even though I'm doing it with my brother and saying and doing it with you and stuff, is comfortable, but at the same time, it's like I know that I'm going to be addressing a larger audience that's going to be sitting down there watching all this other stuff, and then when the questions come around and whatever, not this and the other,
Yep.
it's going to be a challenge because I'm secluded. Like I said, like I go to work, I have a job, and in my job, people know me, but I don't know them. Like they might hear my name here and there, or whatever. Not the guy with the pretty eyes or the guy with the curly hair or whatever. But like
That you got to throw
not.
that in there. The guy with the pretty eyes.
Yeah, no, because I mean, honestly, that's how they know me. Even my wife know that. Like I'm the guy with the pretty eyes and the curly hair, but like they really don't know anything about who am I as a person. Like we never sit down and had a discussion about,
Yeah.
well, my likes, my dislikes, what makes me me,
Yeah.
and what stuff like that. So I'm super secluded. So I want to kind of break down that shell a little bit more, um,
Yeah.
to kind of become more social, and that's like my biggest challenge, uh, that I'm trying to kind of like throughout the year. Thanks to the podcast that we're doing, and doing a little bit more on social media apps like
Yeah.
TikTok and stuff like that. I can put a little more exposure so I can get more connected with other people and
Yeah.
like develop my social skills, if anything.
For years, and I never with many things, but like it's one of those where like, um, it's you still got to get used to it. And I'm like, I had to think like, am I really ready to be in front of the camera? And then once I make it, be understanding that I'm going to be in the public limelight and be ready for it. And you got to have a thick skin because people are going to hate. That we've had one hater so far on TikTok who wrote, when we were talking about, we're going to do it, like, oh, you guys aren't going to make it, on the podcast. And we're like, and, he did the response to it saying, no, trust me, we're going to make it. Watch us. And it's one of those things that, like, for me, it's very, like, I love to prove people wrong. I'm very, like, and I call it, and people might call it something different, but I love to be petty. I love to be petty and prove people wrong. You think I'm not going to make it? Watch me, bro. Watch me do it just to be extra petty. It's like a motivational thing for me to, like, prove people wrong and be like, see, now what? Now, it's not that, oh, well, you have them in your head. No, it's just I like to prove people wrong, and I like to, complete something, especially with ADHD. It's not easy, but it's one of those where, I like to do what I got to do, try to get there. For me personally, I feel like my personal growth is, besides, like, learning how to talk less, I don't want to say bluntly because I'm still blunt. Like, I'm abnormally blunt, y'all. Like, I'm very, very blunt. But learn how to really talk more, I'm going to say, more calming to people, and try to understand people's feelings, because, like I said, I don't have friends. I have acquaintances. I have friends who, they're more like family to me. If we're friends, we could be friends, but I have more time where if we're ride or die and we really do stuff, at that point you're not friends, but you're family. So friends, I have like one or two friends who I consider good friends, but I wouldn't necessarily consider family yet, because I don't know how far they go, and I feel like sometimes it's like, but they're still friends. But most people, I tell them, when I meet you, you're an acquaintance to me. We're not friends until you can prove otherwise. And I mean, and it's not just one time proving. It's got to be multiple times where you've proven yourself to me. And you're probably thinking, oh, well, you should be doing the same thing. I do. I beyond prove my loyalty, my admiration. I listen to my people who talk to me, and I take into account what they're saying, how I do it. And that's why we become a family, is because of this. Is because we're willing to, no matter how bad the argument is, we don't stop being family, because you're not going to always agree. You're not going to always agree with people. So I've learned to grow in terms of how I listen, how I talk, and how I really adapt to my surroundings in terms of being who I am with people, not changing who I am, but understanding that I may be more rough for other people than I am for certain people. And if you're one of those people who you don't like how I am, it's like, well, then that's a loss for you. It's not a loss for me. It's the way I see it, because you have an opportunity to be with someone who's loyal like me, who will 100%, 1000% be there for you no matter what. But the minute you let small little shit overcloud your judgment of how we are and who we are, when you should know, as long as you may have known me, whoever it is, if like the way I see it, my dad always taught me, if you have a problem with someone, never, ever talk shit behind their back. You feel me? Like, you talk that shit to their face and you praise them behind their back. You know what I'm saying? That's the way a true friendship, true family should be. If you have an issue with someone, you're able to tell them, no matter how bad it is, to their face. And if they really care about you, then they understand, you know what, he's doing this for a reason. And then you praise them behind their back, because that's the ultimate form. That's the ultimate way of friendship and family, is knowing that, hey, when I'm not there, he's doing nothing but praising.
Exactly. You let him know behind his back, so that way everybody knows, like, hey, this is a great guy. This is a great guy. This is a great guy. He's doing good. He's
exactly,
doing great. But then to your face, I'm gonna tell you, hey, you messing up here. You messing up there. It's with all the love in the world. I'm not gonna tell you something, or I'm gonna try to correct you or advise you or whatever to your face, if it doesn't mean for you to grow from it. So, like, that's something
yep,
that we as friends, we do, not friends but family, we appreciate
yeah,
one another. Like, if Poetic is messing somewhere, I'm like, yo, something, this, that, and the third, that's something that you can probably take a look into, this and that. And the same thing goes for me, saying, if you see something that I'm lacking on, or I'm slipping on, you're like, hey, fix yourself, because you messing yourself up.
yep,
And by you messing yourself up, it's going to affect me as well, because we are family. So whatever your
exactly,
flaws are, it's going to affect me. Whatever my flaws are, it's going to affect you. So, and that's going to contribute to our success as people, individuals, and friends, and ultimately as the family that we created.
facts. That is very true. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. It's true, because it's something that everyone needs to have. Um, it's just it's something that when you have people you like, it makes it easier. Biggest thing, and we're gonna lead into one of your questions is, and make it work. But how do you unwind and relax after a long day?
Oh man, a bottle of scotch, a bottle of whiskey, sit down, relax, watch
Ooh,
some anime, play
sounds
some
good.
video game. That's my number one to go unwinding situation. And I mean, I don't drink every day, but you say most of the time they just sit down, try to relax as much as I can by like watching anime. It just takes me to a whole different uh
Yeah,
it just takes me to a whole different plane. You know what I'm saying? Like what if I could do this? And it teaches me also a lot of other stuff, which a lot of people think that animes are cartoons or whatever not. But I mean, to the person that reads manga and watches anime, it's a whole different ballgame because you're seeing struggle from a whole different perspective and how they overcome it, and you can even use some of those little um, nuggets of knowledge that are hidden within the anime and whatever not, and apply it to yourself. And I mean, some of them work.
facts, facts. Yeah, me, I'm the same way. I mean, we're very like this is our brothers because we're very similar. Like, I don't drink every day, but when I do drink, it's one of those things also where like you got to learn how to regulate your life no matter how much stress you have. Drinking's never the way to go, y'all. If y'all stressed, drinking, regulating your drinking, your smoking, or whatever it is that you do, mind you, be healthy about it. We're not recommending doing stuff that is unhealthy for you, but drinking a glass or two of wine, drinking a glass of whiskey, one or two, to stress and relax and just chill is not bad, but you have to also learn how to regulate, how to make sure you're good. As long as you have your shit dealt with, you got your bills paid, your family's good, you're safe, it's not impeding upon your life in any bad way. Then it's of course you're an adult, do what you got to do. Have fun, enjoy yourself. I love myself. We're very big whiskey guys here. Whiskey and rum. I'm a huge fan. Of course, Puerto Rico, rum. But very big whiskey fans. We love our whiskey. We love our rum. We like to have a glass, sit back. I'm a huge fan personally. I definitely smoke the ganja. People say devil's lettuce. I say God's cabbage. That's not fun to do. I like that. But if I don't do that, I do like a glass of whiskey or rum and a nice cigar. Sit back, just chill. I've had a lot of times with my camera crew for my Wandering Food Tour. We'll me and my old co-host we'll grab a glass of whiskey or whatever kind of drink we have, and we'll sit back, smoke cigars, and just have guy time. Just talking. That's one of the biggest things you women need to understand, and some women understand it, but like guys need their guy time because it opens them up to being able to talk and really let loose what we may or may not be able to say to our spouse because
Not so
women the
much
thing
let
people right
loose, but more like unwind and
unwind yeah
decompress. Yeah.
exactly yeah we get to unwind 100% like because
Yeah,
there's
you
some
tell them
things
let
like
loose, and they think that we're going to see titties and
yeah
asses over
yeah
there.
yeah well because women think that I've heard like that, oh, why can't you tell me yourself and tell me what's going on, blah, blah. Women want men to talk to them, but very few out of 100%, I'd probably say 95 to 98% of women don't actually care or want to do it. I've always heard, and I've heard this on the internet before, and I agree. You can't necessarily cry or really divulge much because they see you as this protector and they forget you have emotions, and it does make women see you a different way. Now if you have a good woman, a good wife, a good girlfriend who really legitimately cares about you, that will not change her thoughts about you, that just means that she actually knows, hey,
Yeah, if
he's a
she
human with
really
emotions.
understands that you are a human being.
Yeah, but it's very rare to have a female, and I'm being dead serious. And guys, please put this in the comments what you think. Very rare women that men will tell you exactly like if we tell you something that really is on our mind that's bothering to you, and we're like, okay, like no, please tell me. And we tell you, we're not telling you the full facts. We're leaving out so much because we know that if we tell you, you can't handle it. So
Yeah,
that's
and
why I
sometimes,
said
and the
like,
sad part about it that even sometimes they'll take that information that you gave and throw it back at your face,
and that's
and
why men don't open
that's
up.
one of the reasons, and probably the major reason why guys don't open up to their significant other or girlfriend, wife, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we decide to be vulnerable, is like am I going to? Because it is, and it's kind of weird because a lot of them have this mentality that we need supposed to be hard all the time. You can't be hard all the time. You know what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
already working out with the world out there and all their nasty ways and whatever not. And then from the
Pause.
moment that you that
Pause. You said it can't be hard
oh
all the time. Pause.
oh
Pause. And that is also true. What takes us forever takes you women like that. So remember, we want to do it all so much we can build that strength back up. It's tiring.
20 seconds is good enough.
Oh my god.
Oh no, but it's just you cannot have this tough attitude 24/7 and then walk home and then at your own place where you're supposed to sit down, relax, and be able to like take your armor off and be vulnerable. The fact that most people cannot even do that at their own home is crazy. It just
Yeah.
baffles me. I mean, I had struggled with that stuff too. Like coming home and all I get is just nagging, fighting, complaining, and stuff like that. And it took a lot of conversing, like conversing and and a lot of kind of like the continuous it just kind of wears you down at the same time, but it's
Yeah.
something that needs to be addressed especially with people that that couples, um females, y'all need to understand that men's need to be understood, and y'all need to let us have our guard down, because if we cannot have our guard down like around you, where you're supposed to be our peace, then who we can be cool with, like who
Facts.
can we let that thing down? And that's why we have these guy groups and stuff like that where we can sit down and we can just like let our shit down and just
Yep.
undress, pause, but like mentally, yeah, I had to say that again, like
Make sure.
we gotta do mentally, so like so we can have some sort of mental support. And it's crazy
Yeah.
that
Facts.
that is something that should have been so understood. Like, if you are my peace, then I need to be in peace around you, so you have to be the one to create that situation. But 9 out of 10 times is not happening. And then the
Yeah.
moment
That's why guide time is
that you
important.
take,
'Cause we.
yeah, the moment that you take that armor down and
Yeah.
you try to be vulnerable, in the next argument, all that's coming back to haunt you. And it's like, that's why I don't tell you nothing. That's why I keep it to myself. And that's why is anything wrong? No. Is everything okay?
Mhm.
Yeah. How's everything? Good. Because we could like is we have to be very specific to who we're gonna open up to. And it's sad that we cannot open up to our own girls. That's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And that's why guys have their guide time. And you think, oh, he's going out partying. Nah, man. Sometimes guide time is just, um, you know, chilling, grabbing a few drinks, playing pool, playing, different video games and stuff. That's why guys video game so much. I've heard girls say, "Oh, if all he does is video game, that's not a guy, that's not a real man. He needs to learn to
Oh
figure
yeah,
out."
I hate when they say that.
That's the most ignorant thing. First of all, it's ignorant because we're video gaming because sometimes you have friends that may be across the country, across the world. They might be really close people. They, people move. They can't be like, oh, we're all family, we're friends, so let's move to the same place and try to do this. Like, it's not easy sometimes. So that is our way of disconnecting from the world and being able to just bullshit, just have fun, just chill, just relax with your boys, just really vibe out and just have a good time. This is why when guys have
Yeah, it's
like
crazy
that together
because
time,
when
it's
they have the
important.
girl time, like when they have the girl time, what do they do? Bullshit,
Yep.
bullshit.
And this is
So
this is when we're
why
like,
we can't have the same the
you
same
feel me
outlet?
though?
They're
You
like,
feel me?
hello. And one of the things that really, that now that you mentioned that, one of the things that really burned a hole in my ass, bro, is the fact that,
Oh,
bro,
oh my
is when they
god.
when they call the stuff that we do little.
Yeah, I hate that.
Oh,
I
you
hate
get
that.
off your little game and stop your little this and your little that and little,
Yeah,
bro.
bro. Yeah, that's what may be little to you, and I'm not talking about just us. what may be little to you women is something that might be big to us. And in general, with anybody, even with your other people, it could be female to female, male to male. What might not seem important to you is important to other people. Now, mind you, this is just a show, but I remember on Big Bang Theory, Sheldon and Penny were talking about something, and she was like, "They said, oh, let's be vulnerable," and she was trying to get him to like talk more, and she gave him something that was like vulnerable to her, and then he said, "Oh, I don't like." It's something to do with like his underwear. It's like I don't like when something happens, when it doesn't come out like this. And she got mad. She said, if you're not gonna take this seriously, then fine. She started getting ready to walk out. He's like, now you're judging me and doing it to me. She said, what do you mean? He's like, that might not be important to you, but this legitimately, like, let's say there's a tag on the underwear and it like breaks or something, for example. He's like, that might not be something to you, but for me, that really bothers me. That's something that legitimately bothers me. And that's something that I find it's personal to me that actually affects my life. And she's like, well, I didn't think it was something. He's like, exactly. You didn't think it was something that was important because it's something that's not important to you. But
Exactly.
to me, this is. That is me being vulnerable. And just because it doesn't seem so, what do you call it? So like extravagant to you doesn't mean it's not something that's extravagant to me. That might be small to you. You might think, okay, now they're just playing around, but that's something that legitimately bothers me. And she's like, well, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
like they're looking for
I didn't
something
think
that
like
like major or
that's
something.
fine.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you're not
You
going
know,
to
you're
get
so
people to, I don't care if you're
nah.
married for
It's
12 years.
sometimes
There's
it's
stuff
just a
that,
small detail. Yeah, it's a small detail sometimes
yeah, you know what I'm
that
saying? It's
it
just the
makes a
little
big
things. You feel
difference.
me? Like, yeah, and it's that's the thing. Like, listen to your friends, your spouse, your family, because what you might think is BS or not people taking it seriously, that could be something that really is triggering to some people. Like, it could really
You
be bothersome and crazy. Everyone, I introduce you, Bruce Lee.
know.
That's Bruce Lee, my cat. Are you sobbing because I called your name?
He's just looking at you
Your
like,
attitude?
get in my face.
Yeah. He's like,
Get
what?
out my face.
Excuse me, sir. Why you copping an attitude, sir? Sir. Crazy. He be giving attitude. You don't pay rent here, dude. You don't pay rent. Cats, man. I'm telling you. That's what I feel like I would be. I feel like I could be a cat. No, but yeah, it's just take people's feelings into consideration and realize what might not be big to you is big for people. What might not mean something to you is big for people. Men aren't that this is why like when me, him, the three of us, and when I say three, is our other brother Gio. When we talk, we have like real sit downs. We'll talk whether it's on camera or just writing it on our group chat. When we talk about stuff, we're vulnerable with each other. But that's because we understand each other. We're family. We care about each other for real. And it's one of those where we understand no matter how bad it is, no matter how much we don't agree with it, we listen. And when we listen, then we respond back. And not only that, but like you don't know what people are going through. I don't care how close you are. Somebody could be going through some crazy shit. And you might think, oh, buckle up, man up.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
this is why guys have their time in their group chats, because sometimes it's your brothers or your dudes who they'll just sit and just chill, like, and just like listen. Cause it's not easy in general to communicate with people who don't know you when you're going through stuff. So when you have that opportunity to meet people as amazing as like these dudes, who, my brothers who I met here, it's like you're able to be vulnerable, which means it helps. Like being able to talk to my dudes and play games and really have these in-depth discussions and really exude my not only my intelligence but my vulnerability to any situation I may or may not be going through, or things I may be worried about to my brothers. If they're doing something stupid, I'm able to say it without having fear of losing them, because we understand
Exactly.
each other to the point of you have to be able to understand that no matter how hard it is, it's better for you to save them in the end and make them realize this is how I feel, or this is what I think you're doing wrong, and know that if you let little things go, then you weren't really friends. So
Yeah.
like we've had issues in the past and we've resolved it within a matter of minutes. But we
Yeah,
realized we're
exactly.
not going to stop being family, because guess what? Everyone has a different opinion. Everyone has different ways of handling things, and you got to keep moving on. You work through it, get through it, do it, get it done, and then you move on. And
Yes.
then you just and honestly, that just brings your bond together closer. So this is why guys have their guy times, real men. And I mean real men, because there's little boys who they say they're going to do stuff and then they go out and do stupid shit. But for you
Yeah,
women who have real men,
those friends that you
understand.
have a conversation and then they'll be talking junk behind your back about whatever you try to talk
Yeah,
about.
you know what I'm saying? Like if I saw like we were going out somewhere and like, he's been with his wifey for what, 5, 7 years, something like that. If I see him doing something with somebody he shouldn't be doing, I'm gonna remind him, and he's gonna understand, like, bro, like, nah, don't be doing this. Like, stop being stupid. You got a shorty. This is the deal. And because if we're close enough, I'll know if he's actually, they're gonna be splitting or something, blah blah. But like, we're able to, tell each other, yo, what you're doing, you need to stop. And if you don't,
Yeah.
even if we get into a fist fight, and which we never have, but if we were to ever get in a fight, we're not stopping the talk. We're not stopping the conversation. It's just, it happened. We handled it. Now we're gonna sit down and talk. Oh, I don't want to listen. You're gonna listen. You're gonna listen. I don't give a damn. You're gonna sit down. You're gonna listen. We're gonna do this. If you're my brother,
Yeah.
you're gonna listen. That's it. And then you do that, and then you realize, man, this dude really cares for me. And we've had times like
Yeah.
that, and
See,
like
because
all of us. And
those are the times that you realize that like, they are really paying attention to my life. It's not
mm-hmm.
just a bunch of talk. They are paying attention to my life, and they are telling me stuff that I told them before, and they bringing it back. It's like, yo, you remember this? You remember that? You remember this or the other?
Yep.
And those are the good traits that you have, and now you let them slide because X, Y, Z. So you need to go back and get back in your horse, and you need to go and do the stuff right, and ride that horse right. Stay in your lane properly. You know. Um, but I don't know. I wanted to touch a little bit into this little subject. We might go somewhat a little over our time for the podcast, but let's see. Um, what do you think about this? What is your experience with colorism within the Latino or Hispanic community?
Ooh, my experience with colorism.
Yeah, like you being white and me being black.
That's crazy. So first of all, this is a crazy thing. So colorism, for y'all who don't know, is a type of prejudice, discrimination that involves treating people differently based on the skin tone. But within the Latino community, it's one of those, like, it's a crazy subject because, like, I'm a caramel god and he looked like a crispy donut, and we got to make sure it's all.
Why I gotta be crispy? Why I gotta be crispy, bro? Why I got? What are you trying to say with that?
Crispy
Why are you
donut.
trying to say with that?
Start with me,
Crispy
fool.
donut?
Start with me. Gorilla back, motherfucker. Let's get it. We can do it. Now, no, colorism, it's crazy. There, no matter what, I mean, even in Puerto Rico, there was a thing back in the day, way back, and it exists in a lot of places. But like Puerto Rico, there was a town called Loíza, where a lot of the African slaves ended up, they intermingled with our China people, but they were kind of sent there by the Spaniards, and then of course by some Puerto Ricans, they were sent there, and that's where a lot of the people, they just ended up, not, they weren't forced there, but that's where that's where a lot of them migrated to, and those were the ones with like the darker African roots. Those were where the actual Africans went, where they married the other Taino Indians, and they just ended up living there. So it's one of those where if you're not dark enough, like for a lot of Spanish cultures, like I know with wifey, if you're from Ecuador, for example, and if I remember correctly, if you're darker skinned, that means you're lower class because that means you're working out in the sun more. You're actually doing hard labor versus if you're lighter skinned and fair skinned, you're considered upper class because you're not really in the sun, which means you're doing some type of elevated job, whether it be doctor, lawyer, or anything that has to do with not hard labor. So it's always, no matter what, that's not even just a Latino thing, it's in general, but especially within Latinos. And black people and other minorities, is a big thing for black people. It's like, oh, well, you a light skinned, black dude. I'm a darker skin, so you light skin, so that means you must have a white mom, and or you must have this. You're treated differently. You see the memes like light. This is how light skinned dudes act with this, and they kind of make them flamboyant. That's crazy, and this is like darker skin. And with Latino communities, kind of like, oh, well, you're lighter, so you must not be here. There's all these different things. It can be.
I think it's crazy because uh there's a Dominican friend of mine. Her mom always used to say something in the lines of like, "Tiene que mejorar la raza." So you were dark skinned, and then you will like get together with a white, like white skin or light skin person, so that way you get the better traits. Like
yeah.
the hair, like
You gotta improve your race. What he was saying, by the way.
sí, el pelo lacio, they have the
Yeah.
smooth hair, have the fair skin, and this, that, and the third. Because for some odd reason, being darker meant that you were kind of uglier, and that
Yeah.
to me it was kind of crazy, because
it's super crazy because my grandfather, rest his soul, and my grandma is just two polar opposites. My grandpa was a black man that was very light skinned, and my grandma is straight negative. You see what I'm saying? Like she
Yeah,
got straight negative. And then when they have kids, it was my mom. She came out with fair, like lighter skin. She even lighter than mine. Uh,
yeah,
and my uncle came out dark as midnight. You know what I'm saying? Like the only difference between him and midnight is 11:59 kind of thing. Um,
he said this
but
is a 1 minute time difference in his skin.
but it's just so
Yo,
crazy that it's like, and I mean honestly, me being raised by them, I never personally saw in my point of view, I never saw each other like hating on each other, whatever. Not they were, they're saying like my uncle is more hard headed, but my mom was always there to kind of like help him out. Like, hey, you need to listen. You need to listen.
yeah,
She was always invested and stuff like that. But it's just crazy how you see it that even on television, like they give all the good roles to the light skinned people, and then they give the minor roles to the people that have dark skin and stuff like that. So it's just like we all the same. We all
yep,
bleed the same. You know what I'm saying? We are Latinos. We are Hispanic. So it don't matter how light or how dark your skin is, you still are from Spanish speaking countries. So we all should treat each other with a little bit more love,
yeah.
a little bit more understanding.
Love. Yep. Agreed. Yeah, that's something I think people need to realize. It's just color's color. Don't make a difference. I don't care where you're from. We
Yeah,
all bleed the same. I don't care if you're white, you're black, Hispanic, Mexican, or Hispanic is
exactly.
Mexican, but Hispanic of any race. I don't care what you are. You could be Indian. We all bleed blood. There's no reason to be racist. There's no reason to be stupid. We all bleed the same thing. We come from different backgrounds, and the best thing you could do when you come from different backgrounds is learn of another person's background, learn of who they are, accept them into your culture. And vice
Understanding,
versa,
bro.
and then
Understanding and love is
understanding,
just
yeah, learning, because you'd be surprised. I mean, look at England. I have tons of friends from England, from the UK, and it's crazy. Like one of the running jokes is, people in the UK, they conquered India and for all the spices and stuff, and yeah, when you taste their food, where did all the spices go?
they give it back to
Where did
them.
it go?
They give it back to them.
Yeah, so they embrace people's cultures, embrace their food,
Yeah.
their language, everything, because it's going to make your life a little bit better, a little bit easier, and it's better to have that because it's just better. By doing that, you have a better time.
Yeah, people need to
And
understand whether you are white as snow living in Seattle or a bronze king living in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I throw my chat back for what you said before.
wow. You look like you were fried, and then you came out, and they left you over and let the air hit you, and then they put you in a little bit, and you just got a little darker.
At least I'm
I just got
GBD, but
unfortunate
I'm
with
golden. I'm golden brown delicious. You look like white people cooking on season.
it. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm fully seasoned, bro. That's nuts. Y'all heard that? Whoa, that's wow. I see how it is. I see how it is. He said, "I'm like seasoned, bro. Pepper ain't spicy
Oh,
for me."
yeah, you got you salt and pepper.
Oh my god, that's crazy. But
Yeah,
yes, that's the beauty of life. That's everything. But that's I love that. But y'all, thank you for joining us on this insanely crazy conversation and the 90s memories that we've brought up about. Let us know what your favorite memory was of Blockbuster and everything we talked about from the 90s. If you're not from the 90s and you're from the 2000s, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
we feel for you. We feel for you.
we feel for you. No, but if you have those memories and those good memories, write it below. Let us know what's happening. Y'all know how it is. Thank you for tuning into Latinos Unfiltered podcast. We really hope you enjoyed our unfiltered conversations, our crazy laughing that we had, our jokes, our craziness, everything in between, and maybe even learn a little something new. You feel me?
Yeah. Well, life is too short for all this colorism, all this racism, all this hate. You know what I'm saying? Life is too short for that. Just make sure that you have a good time with your friends, your families, those that you love that are around you.
So, people, until next time, just make sure that you keep vibing, stay curious, learn every day, and keep those cafecitos coming because we are going hard on this episode.
Get that espresso. Get that espresso. Nah, but if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn on the notifications so you never miss this episode and episode in general. We're here to keep it real, have fun, reminisce, talk about the old times, the new times, the present times, the good times, the future times, everything there is. Welcome to the familia.
Yeah, make sure you keep those. You hit that bell, that subscribe button, make comments, make all the social media apps that we're about to hit, bro. Like, just get all of them. All of them. We're gonna be all over the place.
Right.
So, people, this has been another episode of Latinos Unfiltered. So, hasta luego, familia.